Hello, welcome to my channel. I decided to do this video for several reasons. One being because I have been on both ends of the spectrum. Now, as a mom of two, I have experienced formula feeding my child, my first child, and now I'm exclusively breastfeeding. And I thought it was really important for me to do this video just to shed light on the disparities of breastfeeding when it comes to moms, as well as just helping out my fellow moms, particularly my Black moms who need a little bit of help in the breastfeeding department. So I pray that this video is received in love. It's not coming from a place of criticism or judgment. I literally just want to help out any woman who is struggling in the area of breastfeeding, or women who, just want extra tips. Because I know for me, this video would have been very helpful almost 2 years ago when I first became a mom. So let me just share a little bit of stats, which is pretty alarming. There are disparities among women when it comes to breastfeeding. White women breastfeed about 85% of the time, white mothers, and Black mothers breastfeed about 69% of the time. Now, there are many reasons why Black women do not breastfeed as often as white women, but we're not gonna get into that for the sake of this video because it's just gonna be too long. Just know that this is the intentions for me making this video. I think that it's pretty alarming. Those disparities and those rates are pretty alarming. And again, I just wanted to be a resource. So here are 7 things that have helped me be successful with exclusively breastfeeding, be successful with increasing my milk flow, and really being very successful, even though my baby was not with me after giving birth. The first thing I definitely want you to do is learn how to hand express, especially that colostrum. So with most mothers, your milk flow is not really that heavy in the beginning. You'll find that you're not really even producing anything. You might get like a few drops here and there of colostrum, which is like this yellowy kind of thick substance that comes out of your breast. And don't make the mistake that I made with my first pregnancy in thinking that that was nothing, right? So colostrum is jam-packed with nutrients, jam-packed with so many things that are beneficial to your child, especially within those first few hours of birth, especially within those first few days of you giving birth to your child. And so you definitely want to learn how to express. You can express with a pump, but I found that with me, with my second child, it was not effective for me to hand express in a pump because the bottles were too big for what I was producing. So I use these little 1 cc vials, and I'll put a picture right here so that you're familiar with it. And I learned from the Dr. Jane Morton. I will leave the video down below and the article down below. I think it's from Stanford. It's an article on how to hand express in the hospital. And by the grace of God, I had a patient care associate who really helped me with this. She's the one that recommended me watch this video while I was in the hospital and my baby was in the NICU. And it was a game changer. I would literally get a few drops of colostrum, and I thought I was just doing that to stimulate my breast and to try to kind of increase the flow. But really, I was able to get a few drops of colostrum in these vials and take it up to the NICU to spoon feed it to my child, or to put it in those little, what do you call those little vials, and literally just drop it in my child's mouth. And it was so helpful. I can't explain how helpful it was. So I'm gonna leave the article and the video down below so that you can check that out. The second thing that I would suggest you do is, while you're still at the hospital, make sure that you are taking advantage of every lactation consultant that is available to you on every shift. There is not one lactation consultant or specialist that is the same as another. And so what I did with my second child was I made sure that every single day that I was at the hospital, I was requesting to see a lactation consultant, a lactation specialist. I refuse to make the assumption that I knew everything because I did extensive amount of research. And thank God I did that, because with every meeting that I had with a lactation consultant, I learned something new. I learned a new trick. I learned a new tip as it relates to my child and breastfeeding. So I would highly recommend that when you're in the hospital, whether you're in the hospital for 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, what so have you, make sure that you're taking advantage of every lactation consultant. Make sure that you're meeting with them. At the end of the day, whether you have insurance or not, the hospital is gonna bill you or bill whoever is responsible for giving you healthcare. So you might as well take full advantage of every service that is available to you, and that includes a lactation consultant. The third thing that I wanna recommend you do is take every follow-up call that you receive once you get home from lactation consultants and specialists. I don't know why I never got a follow-up call with my first child, but with my second child, I definitely got a follow-up call from somebody from a lactation department, just trying to see how I was doing and how successful I was with breastfeeding. And I was going okay, but my child was having a little bit of issues with latching. And just that conversation alone was so beneficial. She shared so many things that I could do to help my child latch better. And oh my goodness, that little 10-15 minute call was a game changer. And I didn't have to go into the hospital or have a meeting with a lactation consultant because of that conversation. So I know that there is a temptation to kind of ignore calls from the hospital, ignore calls from medical providers, because you might be tired, you might be busy, you might have missed the call. Follow up, call back, hear what the professionals have to say, because like I said, no one will ever know it all. So make sure you take those follow-up calls. The fourth thing I want to recommend you do is hydrate and eat. I understand, Mom, okay? I'm 3 weeks postpartum. I understand. You may not even have an appetite. You may not even desire to drink. Where is the time in the day? Like, right? There's just so much going on in your life, and you're more concerned with making sure that baby's good and making sure that your baby's eating, that you forget to eat. You forget to hydrate. I always encourage moms to do what's best for them and make hydrating and eating convenient. So if that means ordering takeout because you don't have the time to cook, or no one can cook for you. If that means getting a flask and keeping it on your nightstand every night so that you can hydrate throughout the day. Every time you wake up for those feeds, you can just drink water at the same time. Just make sure you're doing what you have to do to hydrate, because drinking water is going to increase your breast milk. My fifth tip is to learn how to use your pumps properly. I know that for me, with my first child, I would pump for about 20 minutes and get 1 ounce combined from both. I failed to watch tutorial videos on how to effectively use my pump. Now, I won't talk about what pump is better than what, because I have not compared. That's not what this video is about. It's just encouraging you to watch tutorials on YouTube, read the manual, figure out how to effectively use your pump. I'll tell you right now, once I learned that stimulation button on my pump, game changer. I was thinking that an electric pump was not working out for me. And so I was constantly pumping manually, and I was not getting as much milk, but I was getting more than my electric pump. So I thought, okay, manual pump works for me. No, I just was not using this properly. So make sure that you are doing all of the research about the pump that you have and you're using it effectively. So this is the manual pump that I use. And one thing I love about pumping manually is that when I pump manually, I actually use this Haka, I think I'm pronouncing it properly, the Haka suction cup. And I'll use this on my other nipple, my other breast, while I'm pumping. And this is supposed to catch the let out, or catch the slips, or you know, when your nipple is just dripping. This catches so much, and it's been so effective for me anytime I manually pump, because I can easily catch about 2 ounces of milk from the other breast that I'm not pumping while I'm pumping one breast. And so you definitely want to use this. This is a game changer. It has helped me so much, especially in my early days of pumping. When I was not producing as much, it was a game changer. So please purchase this, and the link will be down below. Another thing you want to do, in addition to hydrating, is doing research and hydrating with body armor. Body armor. Specifically the peach mango flavor. Game changer. Game changer. My hairstylist is actually the one who suggested me drink this. And listen, my milk supply is through the roof now. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the electrolytes. I don't know if it's the fact that I am hydrating. I drink like 2 to 3 of these bottles a day in addition to water. Game changer. So please do your research on Body Armor. The great thing about these drinks is that there is no sugar added. Sodium's a bit high, but there's no sugar added, and it's jam-packed with natural flavors, coconut water, electrolytes, antioxidants, vitamins, and it's low calorie. So it's actually pretty healthy for you as well. And this, for some reason, has been so good with milk supply. Another thing that's been really, really good is lactation tea. I actually use I think it's called Pink Fork. I'll put it right here. The lactation tea I drink twice a day, and it's been so helpful. And the last thing I just want to suggest is that you don't give up. It's hard. Get your spouse involved. Get anyone who can help you involved with pumping, even if it's just for moral support. Even if you are deciding that in your periods of pumping, for the 10-15 minutes, you are taking the time out to pray, taking out the time to read scriptures, taking out the time to do something that's beneficial. You can look at your child and be reminded of the gift that God has given you. Again, this video is not here to judge anybody or criticize anyone who decides not to breastfeed. Do what's best for you. As the old adage goes, fed is best. Whether you formula feed or breastfeed, I've been on both ends of the spectrum. I'm here to testify that so long as your child is fed, so long as your child is healthy and loved by mom, your child is in the best hands. So please do not get discouraged if it's going hard for you. Contact the people and the resources around you. You can send me a comment down below, or you can send me an email, and I can try to support you to the best of my ability. God bless you. If you like this video, if it was helpful, make sure you're sharing it with the mamas and the dads, because they need to support us as well. Make sure you're subscribed down below and click the notification button so that you are aware when I upload my next video. Take care.